AutoGPT, an experimental open source project on GitHub, who used GPT language models to attempt to make GPT-4 fully autonomous. Or, as Twitter bio says, currently working on developing artificial general intelligence. In human terms, this project is a glimpse into autonomous AI agents.
Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
All you have to do is give them a task, and they are going to do everything. Browse the internet, create files, click around to achieve that goal. Only it never really achieves that end goal. But more on that later. I'm making this video to share with you how I got in trouble using it. Oh my god. It downloaded audio file? It's going on YouTube. No! How you can use it if you are brave enough. And also I'm going to leave you with 3 no-code alternatives so you can start playing and experiencing these AI agents on your own. But before that, I want to briefly warn you. Even though it feels like the whole world is flipping on its head, and this open source project of AutoGPT is spreading like a wildfire, the reality is 99.9% of people have never heard of it. Just think about it. If we have 5.16 billion people who have access to the internet, and if only 0.1% have heard of AutoGPT, it's not very far off to speculate that less than 5 million people heard of it. According to my YouTube analytics, it's around 1 million people who are actively searching about AutoGPT. And you have to wonder how the world is going to look like when 1% of people get to know this. And how about when it's 10% of all internet users? To be honest, the past weeks, I really had to sit down and think a little bit deeper about all of this. And I have to say, I'm both excited and I'm also scared at the same time. Let me just explain to you where I come from. I don't code yet, and I'm new at GitHub, but I still managed to get AutoGPT running locally on my machine. What I'm trying to say, there's going to be a lot of mistakes made, both by the highly professional developers, but also by the people who have access to this without any further knowledge of it. My interaction with AutoGPT was one big mistake. As probably any content creator, I simply asked to come up with video ideas that would interest people to watch my videos and subscribe. That did not go well, and not because it came up with completely irrelevant or absolutely basic ideas which I can't use. One of them being that I should create gaming content, and that definitely will get me viral. But anyway, the mistake was AutoGPT went off and Googled me and started watching my YouTube videos, of course, to gather more information and context, which is all great, till at almost exactly the same moment I saw a pop-up on my YouTube analytics saying that YouTube just detected invalid traffic, and therefore my views and my AdSense is going to be immediately affected. And it did. I saw immediately a dip in views, a dip in my earnings. I can tell you I unplugged AutoGPT both from Google, both from my machine so fast, completely panicked. As a small YouTuber, that was like, this whole situation just like turned back on me. I immediately contacted YouTube support and just tried to explain that it was me. It was me who, by complete accident, sent bots to my own YouTube channel. So it's crazy to think that YouTube was able to detect that so fast. They told me just don't do this again and you should be fine. So yeah, if you don't get recommended my YouTube videos, yeah, that's my own fault. And this whole situation basically made me think that I didn't have bad intentions. But how about people who do? The other thing is, now we have all these AI agents crawling around the web. We don't know how different browsers, how Google reacts to this, how it's going to affect your SEO. If you build the whole website and push content using AI, will it rank on Google? On the flip side, I have to tell you, it was fascinating to sit and watch this AI model to talk to himself, discuss, create other agents, assign tasks, start creating files, read those files. And mind you, I was using GPT 3.5. that was not even GPT-4. And it's far from being perfect, and it gets stuck. And it actually never really finishes the original task you assigned to it. Just keeps going and looping, and it can get really expensive if you don't set a hard limit on your OpenAI key. But we know that with such speed and advancement of all of this technology, all of this is just going to be better, smarter, faster, and cheaper. And cheaper for anybody to use this at scale. If you really want to play with AutoGPT, it will very much depend what machine you use, what is your comfort level with coding, do you use Python, do you have GitHub account, all these things. It took me half a day to figure that all out and start from zero. Well, not exactly zero. You see, at the beginning of 2023, I realized that if I want to stay competitive, plus understand all the craziness what's going on with AI, I have to educate myself on the fundamentals. So I've been learning from Brilliant.org, who is kindly sponsoring this video. Brilliant.org is the best way to learn math and computer science interactively. They have thousands of lessons from foundational and advanced math to AI, data science, neural networks, and more. The best part, new lessons are added monthly. Their course on how technology works is a must, but also thank God I took search engine course. Because of that, I was quickly able to understand why it was an issue when AutoGPT browsed Google and YouTube. For example, you can learn how links work. And talking about links, to try everything what Brilliant has to offer, free for a full 30 days, visit brilliant.org/gotta-go, or you can click the link in the description box below. Use the link to sign up, and the first 200 of you will enjoy 20% off a year of Brilliant Premium. Okay, let's get back to AutoGPT. This is how you use it. If you manage to get it started, this is what you're going to see. It will ask for the name, content creator, an AI designed to autonomously research, develop, and create ideas, scripts, and all assets necessary to create a YouTube video about AutoGPT. Okay, so now we have goal. That's it. This is where it starts getting exciting. This is the first thought. I think the first step should be to research AutoGPT and gather information about it. I can use the Google command to search the relevant article and videos. I don't have videos on AutoGPT, so I think now I'm safe. You can use Y to approve and let it continue. If you don't want every single time to do Y, you'd say Y10. And I haven't done continuous mode. Continuous mode is that it just keeps going and it's not recommended. And N is to basically shut it down. So I'm going to approve and let it run for 10 rounds. Oof, it Googled. The first result was GitHub page. It's just fascinating to watch. So it created a file. Now that I have gathered information about AutoGPT, I can start planning the video content and script. This is the interesting part. Every task starts with thoughts, reasoning, plan, and criticism. Generated an image. Wait a second. It wants to execute Python command to run a video editing software. It's not just making a video idea and script. It actually wants to run a software of video editing. The criticism. I need to make sure that the video editing software is effective and efficient in creating the video. I also need to make sure that I am not spending too much time on the software development process. Wait, it wants to develop video editing software? Okay, so now I can actually also give it a feedback. I'm weirdly curious what it would do about video editing part. Well, to my defense, I did ask about all the assets related to creating a video. Wait a second. Use execute Python file command to run the video editing software. Okay, thoughts. Now that I have the image for the video and the video editing software, I can start working on the actual video. You know what? I'm a bit worried, but I'm also very curious. It's either again I'm going to get in trouble, but I have to see what happens. So that's the image it generated. And here's a video editing Python file. It's stuck now that it wants to write Python code for video editing software. I'm going to say don't create an actual video, just video script. So here's the thing that Again, how well you describe the task is going to be very important. Okay, so thoughts. Since I'm not creating a video, I will focus on creating video script. Wait, it's looking for audio files related to AutoGPT, but why? Just write a script. Wait a second. Okay, so it says, now that I have created a video script, I need to start recording the audio for the video. I will use the read audio from file. Okay, so now it's searching for audio. And it downloaded. Oh my god. It downloaded audio file? It's going on YouTube. No! So it wants to browse this specific website and extract things to be used in a video. Digital trends. What is AutoGPT? Here's how autonomous agents are taking over the internet. It returns error. It can't browse that website. And it wants again to use Google. Okay, yes. This happened to me before, that what it is, it Googles, but then it wants to browse specific website and it can't, and I don't know yet why. And then it goes again. I need to Googles, finds a result, I need to browse website. This is one of those loops where they just get stuck. Okay, so we will move on. I will make a reminder that you need to write only script. Okay, now it's thinking, and I can promise to you it's going to say, I need to use Google function to browse internet to gather more information. And if any of you know why it can't browse and if it's just some mistake I'm making, let me know. Wait, it now came up with something different. It wants to fix its own code because it says it will help me avoid any issues or errors when working with the data and will make it easier to purge and manipulate the JSON. The plan is use the fixed JSON function to ensure that any JSON string I receive is purgeable and compliant with the provided schema. Okay, you know what? We will stop here because I don't know what JSON file is exactly, and it wants to manipulate the data. It just smells like I would get in trouble. Even though the curiosity is real, but I'm not going to allow it to manipulate its own code and files so that it can avoid issues and errors. We will unfortunately shut it down. To be honest, after playing with AutoGPT, my expectations are very low. I feel that right now there's this whole excitement because all of this is new. But to be honest, looking at the actual results, like if you want to use it right now into your business, it's been quite disappointing, at least to me. But probably as I will advance using it, the results I will get will improve. I hope. Few other open places is Gatmo.space, Agent GPT, and Baby AGI. And I really encourage you to check out Tristan Wolf's article where he really nicely covers each. To answer this question, how AutoGPT works, you can check this article. I'm going to link in the description box. I'm not going to pretend that I can go in and explain to you the ins and outs of it. I really like the conclusions. In conclusion, the buzz surrounding AutoGPT raises important questions about the state of AI research and the role of public understanding in driving hype around emerging technologies. It is far from being a practical solution, yet it has managed to capture the general public's imagination who may lack a deep understanding of its inner workings. Very, very true. At this point, if you see in the news that these AI assistants is going to take over the world, it's going to take your job. Not yet, at least. Talking about personal assistant, check out this video where I used a couple of jailbreaks to turn GPT-4 into brutally honest assistant.